that?
Hmm.
Oh, it's because the stream started.
We are live on YouTube. It looks
We
like.
is live. You see us?
I don't have it yet. Let's see. This is probably everybody's favorite part of the stream, where they just see us
when it first starts,
staring at our phones like a fucking bunch of morons.
All right, I'm gonna start the intro.
Oh, is it on yet?
All right, here we go.
I don't hear anything. Or if I don't know if I'm supposed to.
You're not hearing anything?
No.
All right, well, I'm gonna stop then and restart. Let's see, share screen. I see what I did wrong. And go.
Are you a fan of Star Wars? Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? What about beer? If so, this may be the podcast for you.
Brick,
Yeah?
you're talking like that again.
Well, we are cutting an introduction for our podcast.
Do you think we should maybe crack a beer first?
I shouldn't do it.
Welcome to episode 41 of Galaxy of Beeros. I am Darth Darkit, he is Brick Hardmeat, and we want to wish all of you Beeros out there a happy May the 4th. Hopefully today brought you the doublest of drops, but we always remember that 2 times 0 equals 0. On today's show, we drink some bat beer from Witch's Hat, we discuss our May the 4th adventures, we compare GAC results, and we try to figure out why CG wants me to lose my will to live. But first, let's jump into the cantina.
Whoa.
All right, on today's cantina, we have a local brewery. We have Witch's Hat Brewery, and Witch's Hat is very close to us. I'm 90% sure they're out of South Lyon, somewhere within like the Wayne County, Livingston County area. And the first beer that we're going to try today from Witch's Hat is Blueberry Lemonade. Goes.
Let's do it.
All right, crack her open. I really wish I had a glass to pour this into because the color on this thing is amazing. It's like a deep red, almost purpley fuchsia color. Really good one.
That's a Darth Darkit. Ooh,
I've ever heard one. That's a long. Now this is a beer that I have had before. I had to make sure that I found it, grabbed it, and brought it on the podcast today, because it's such a good sour beer, and not one of those ones that's like, oh, I'm into sour beers and fuck you because I'm a beer aficionado and you're not gonna like this one. Like some of the sours are. This one is a very approachable one, I think. It's got a nice tangy like nose to it, and you really get the full fruit flavor as you're kind of like letting it sit on the palate. So this one is a low ABV one. It's 4.8%. Sweet blueberry flavor with an aggressively tart finish. Enjoy alone or mixed into your favorite New England IPAs or use as a mixer in craft cocktails. I've never even thought to do that. Like mixing this with one of my New Englands, which we also have one of those for later too. But I don't really think I'm gonna mix this one. That's something that you guys can do if you want to. But the beer makes your mouth water and tongue pucker. What would you rate this beer on the Star Wars Galaxy of Beeros?
Well, I'm going 5 with Omegas.
Are you? Okay. I honestly would probably go like a 6 with a Zeta.
Ooh.
I really like this one.
It's a good one.
And I have to say I get this one often at Sidetrack in Ipsy. Have you ever been there?
Mm-mm.
It's a pretty excellent like burger bar in Depot Town in Ipsy, and it's a good one to drink like out on their patio. And I had 3 or 4 of these after disc golf one day with Ninja Emus, and was feeling pretty good and
I bet.
pretty glad I didn't drive, even if
I
it was only
can
4.8%.
imagine.
So
Trying to get live on our YouTube here.
while you're doing that,
Here we go.
I'm going to talk about Witch's Hat a little bit. The story of Witch's Hat begins with a bat, which for
Too soon.
For today's situation in the world, might be too soon. But you know what? We need to rebrand the bat. We need to bring the bat back into the positive, the positive realm, because bats are great for the ecosystem. Instead of seeing a bat as a symbol that we should fear, we trusted our bat to be a symbol of rebirth, intuition, dreaming, and vision. Bats are nurturing and in tune to the sensitivity of others within their group. Bats are the guardians of the night. Bats are the symbols of the end of a way of life and the start of another. Trust your instincts. Follow your bat. I'm going to skip a few lines on this.
Just don't eat them, because
don't eat them. This couple started Witch's Hat in 2010. Got one of those small business loans, and they have not stopped since. I have not had a bad beer from Witch's Hat ever. I've actually picked up a few of their IPAs in kegs for my kegerator. Train Hopper, I think it's called, is a good one. So if you like the standard IPAs, that's a great option as well. So sorry that was a long cantina, but
no, it's good. It's good.
They have been staying open also during the quarantine, so they're doing the pickups. You can get carry out, you can get some growlers, so definitely check them out if you're in our area.
Very nice. Happy May the 4th, man.
You too. What a day, man.
It's been a great day.
May the 4th is always fun because you can just like sit around and watch Star Wars, but when you're playing Galaxy of Heroes, we get some awesome bonus rewards, I guess. So that was pretty exciting to see all that stuff kind of play out for it. So
yeah, absolutely. And with Rise of Skywalker coming out on Disney Plus, that was huge.
Yep.
Just an excuse to live in your Star Wars glory, Star Wars fan glory.
Watch Star Wars. Tell the wife to get you a beer or fuck off. No.
That was vacant from my May the 4th. I don't know.
Quite honestly, so we bought her Mother's Day gift. Me and Ella picked out a hammock for the backyard.
Nice.
And we built it in the garage and hid it. She stumbled upon it accidentally while she was getting some tools for some weeding. So we just put it out there in the backyard and said, hey, you're going to get this early. So she's basically been living her life in the hammock in the backyard for the last 2 days. I haven't seen her much.
Haven't spoke to her.
Yeah. Eventually, like here and there, I'll like smell like weed coming from the backyard. I'm like, all right, she's enjoying this, so it's fine. It's 3 p.m., but it's okay.
It's quarantine life, man.
Quarantine life, baby.
I've adapted many quarantine, many shitty habits that I've attributed to the.
It's part of
the quarantine. Not that smoking weed in a hammock is a shitty habit. That's a great habit.
It's a great
habit. Driving like really stupidly.
Mm-hmm.
It's quarantine driving. It's quarantine driving.
Yeah.
Turn signals optional. There's nobody on the road anyway.
Nope.
In quarantine time, maybe I'll use it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll pay attention to a stop sign, a red light. 25 in a school zone. Suck my dick.
Who's got time for that?
Nobody's in school.
I went to my school today, and
I'm kidding. Of course, I follow traffic guidelines.
You have to. I was on the freeway for the first time in 2.5 months, and it was kind of scary. Like getting up there to 75 miles an hour. I'm like, oh shit, this is weird. Luckily, there were hardly any cars on the road with me, but yeah. My car was not happy either. It was like, all right.
I'm jumping into light speed.
Take this guy in for a tune-up.
I'm skipping light speed. What do they call it? Light speed jumping? Mm-hmm. Skipping.
Light speed jumping, yep.
Also, quarantine outfits. I've been wearing some pretty stupid stuff. Lots of Christmas attire for some reason. I'm just like, I don't know. I got a Christmas sweater on.
Perfect.
I'm outside riding my bike. What, you got a problem with my Christmas sweater? Fuck you, man. It's quarantine.
What are you looking at?
A quarantine swag.
Put your mask on.
They're like, yeah, quarantine has nothing to do with you wearing Christmas.
Seasonally appropriate attire.
That has nothing. Or like I'll wear really nice dress shoes with like jeans just because they're slip-ons, and I don't give a fuck.
I like
whatever.
The weather's been very weird too. So like you can never
Yeah.
predict like what to like go out in. So like, you know, I would take the dog for a walk. I'm in like jeans and a hoodie. I'm like, damn it, I'm sweating. Next day I go out in like flip flops and shorts. I'm like, it's 40 degrees out. What the hell's going on here?
I know, it's really weird.
Yeah. Well, we know you guys come here for the weather talk, the driving talk.
You're welcome, guys.
But I think we should probably get into our boosts, boasts, and
spoke.
beers.
And we listened. You spoke, we listened.
It's what the listeners want.
Yep.
Rick, what did you boost, boast, and beer?
What did I boost, boast, and beer? I gear 12 shock T.
Nice.
So I'm inching closer to gas, being gas preparedness, if you will.
Yep.
Just down to Magna Guard and Droidica. I need to get from 11 to 12. Fortunately, with these double drops, that's helped me make progress with Magna Guard. He was gear 10 plus 1. After spending a bunch of crystals and doing all my double drops and refreshes, now he's gear 10 plus 5.
Okay.
So I was happy about that because his gear farm has been kind of desolate when I'm looking at him. Like, oof.
Yeah.
Saw a tumbleweed rolling through those 6 mod slots or gear slots.
Nice.
I don't know when I'm gonna. It's all like Carbantes and stun cuffs, which are hard to farm. I think I'd rather farm stun guns. Honestly, I feel like the drop rates are better for me anyway.
Yeah.
That might just be a mental thing, but yeah, getting closer. So I just need to get him and Droidica up to 12, and then I just need to work on some pilots. And I'm hoping that that's gonna be enough. Speaking of that, Edda 2 is now 7-star, finally. So another ship prepared for the event. You have to have them at 7-star, so that's done.
Yep.
Kind of don't know what to do with myself now that now that ship energy is not being allocated to that, but I'll figure something out.
How's your nest?
Good point. Maybe nest. Maybe
Get your.
I've been using. My priority is gear. Like, so if there's anything that anybody for the gas unlock event for Clash on Camino they need that I can farm, I'm just putting it towards that. I'm just not. I'm not fucking around with any side projects unless it's going to help me get closer to gas. I'm not really. The only thing I'm detracting from energy wise is for Kylo's command shuttle, which is almost done because I'm going to have a finalizer and a malevolence pretty quick here. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to be a lot of options.
The finalizer will be nice in PvP stuff because, you know, it might not be one that you want to use for defense, but like if you need to clean up something, you got good first order. I think that's going to be great. It'll be great.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that'll play out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do GAC. We can do a summary in the hard meet if you want.
Yeah, sounds good.
Actually, just before we started recording, we both realized that the Sith raid was going on.
That's why we waited about 20 minutes longer than we should have.
I forgot that it was going on. We were watching Rise of Skywalker, my son, wife, and I. So I just wasn't thinking about it. But that was great.
We'll allow it.
That was great. Yeah, that went. That's going pretty good. I hopped into P3, and normally in P3 of the Heroic Sith raid, I use my Night Sister Deathstorm team with Anakin, so the cheesiest team available. But typically, I can do anywhere between 25 and 100% of P3 with just that team.
Yeah.
But more lately, it's been more on the lower end. But what I have to do as part of the tactic is you have to you want basically no potency of any kind on any of your Night Sisters or Anakin, because when there's some mechanic that I can't remember offhand, but basically if you fail to apply debuffs on Treya, you gain turn meter, or Treya doesn't gain turn meter, or it's like prevents Treya from gaining turn meter. I don't know. Either way, what it does is it keeps her toppled. So I have like 3 mod sets that I try to pop on to my Night Sisters beforehand, which is a pain in the ass. But this time we didn't have time, and obviously we want to record the podcast, so I just rolled with what I had on there, and I actually soloed P3 completely with that team, and I got like 43 million, I think. Is that what I said?
Yeah, fucking awesome.
Yeah, and I got a little further into P4. I think I got Nihilist down to like 60% or something. So
yeah,
really, I didn't have high expectations, but on the first try, I was able to get that. So that was nice.
Looks like it was good enough for 4th place.
Nice. Okay,
yeah.
Sweet.
Top
and
5 is good.
Absolutely nothing. Because rewards have been awful for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Brick Hard Node. I spiced in, Jacob's dying to know what Brick Hard Node. And hello, Jacob. I saw him in the chat. Wanted to see what Brick Hard Node's up to. I dropped my first Gear 12 character.
Nice.
GBA.
Who was it? Nice.
Got GeoBrute Alpha up to Gear 12, and then I had so many 6E mod slicing material that I gave him 5 6E mods just because.
That's worth it.
Like he has ridiculous speed, like all of the speed secondaries he has, I think they're at least above 10, and most of them are in like the mid-teens. Yeah. So I think he's going to be
now
a beast on that account.
I want you to try something.
Okay.
In GAC with that account, because I've been doing this, go super undermanned with that team.
Okay. Yeah. And I heard you mention this the other day.
Just pull GeoBrute Alpha and the Brute.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you might want to like throw Spy in there, depending on the matchup. But 2 of them, even just GBA and the Brute, can take down a squad. And then you can save the rest of them with a Poggle lead to take down another squad.
Ooh, I like that.
It's been working great for me because like I don't have a ton, like my roster is very focused on that account, so like I don't have multiple like options there. Mm-hmm. So I have to kind of split them up, and like every single matchup I've been able to take out 2 territories with just bugs.
That's awesome. I mean, and you could do that, or if you want to split them up, you could even do like just a separatist team with the remaining bugs.
Yep.
I have pretty good separatists on my alt, so
I was doing it in
option too.
Territory battles. We're doing, in Awakened Murder Bears, the Hoth, Darkside Hoth, and I can like 3-man 4 waves in that in the first 2 phases, and then use a Dooku lead with Newt and the rest of the bugs, and do another 4 out of 4 for the first like 3. So
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
If there's room, I would love to join Murder Bears after this TB.
There's room.
The Rando guild I'm in is just not.
Yeah.
They don't even know who picked Darkside Geonosis territory battle. They don't even. Nobody knows. Nobody.
Wait, you guys picked GeoTB?
Yeah. And nobody knows how it happened. And the officers apparently don't have a chat. They just talk in general chat. They're just like, okay, I didn't pick it. And there's like 6 officers, and like only one of them's active. So it's a mess. And,
well, before you leave, tell them they can join Murder Bears.
Good idea. Yeah, there's no commands in territory battle. There's not even like, okay, guys, we're gonna stick to the top. Like, there's just nothing, like 0 communication. So whatever.
I was putting me being the territory battles officer. I was like, if I put a platoon down, does that count for deploy numbers? Like stupid questions that I really should know the answer to. But like, there's, Nels runs our main guild, so he's the only other officer. So I'm like, I guess I'm doing this. So
yeah,
I threw together commands. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like they kind of worked before, like before you took leadership of Awakened Rebels. Spa was running it, and it seemed like he did more of just kind of like a let's focus here. Like it wasn't. I don't think he used a spreadsheet or anything. And
yeah, right.
It totally made sense. Like
yeah.
And then even before then, like when we were in our previous guild, we figured it out.
Yep.
As long as you have somebody directing something like, hey, we're close to 1 star. Some people don't really understand what the game mode is, but
and I went in on the map too, is like you can go into every single phase and like do all the focus engagements, set everything up, prohibit deployments on everything, and then like put all the commands down. So like if you're not on your account, as soon as like the phase switches, like the people who are on it see that like, okay, this is where my best team needs to go. This is where my second best team needs to go.
Yeah,
we're only filling these 3 platoons. So that's what I was trying to do on that guild.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah.
How was what did you boost? What did you? Oh, and I forgot to mention beers. I've been drinking White Claws lately. I don't know. I saw White Claws at the store, and I'm like, you know what?
I saw your Instagram story, and I was cracking up. It's like, there's more laws when you're drinking claws.
Right, yeah. I was making fun of that. That
good
trope.
stuff. Good stuff.
They were okay. I was a little disappointed. I didn't really get too much of a buzz off of them. I drank 6 of them, and I wasn't feeling it.
I think you have to drink 12 for it to.
Yeah, they're only 5%, but
yeah. Well, they're small cans too. They're like 8 ounces, right?
Yeah. I like to change up my palate, my alcohol palate. Mm-hmm. I like to try different things.
Those Bud Light mangoes. Is that you that brought those over?
Yeah.
Those were fucking delicious.
Yeah, that was better than the mango White Claw I had. So
yeah, I'm not a fan of the White Claws. There's a couple seltzers that are like not bad, but for me, I don't know.
I think they're called Trulies.
Yeah,
those are pretty good. I had those before.
Yep.
Not to be confused with Trulia, which is a real estate listing website, I believe, which I always inherently want to say when I think
I'm not sure. Not sure.
Anyway, that's about it. How about you? What'd you boast in here?
All right, so I was all in to prep for the Watt mission today. I'll get to my success or not later, but okay. I fully remodded Spy and I remodded GBA a little bit. And then I moved some stuff around onto Sunfox so that I could like set myself up for success on the Watt mission. Mm-hmm. But I'm still only gear 11 on GBA, so it's kind of dicey. So during the Watt mission, I watched Mick Mole's video wave by wave. I did every single thing that he was doing. Of course, my bugs are a little different than his bugs. Wave 1, 2, 3, super easy, no big deal. And then I got into wave 4, and I was trying to put ability block on Arc Trooper. I missed, so I tried to do it again, and then they just like fucking took out 3 of my bugs all at once. I'm like, all right, well, this is over with.
What's the overall just quick strategy for that? This is the Watt Tambor mission?
Yep. The Watt mission. I had.
Who do you face? Is it just like tough clones? Not Acklay, right?
Not Acklay. Acklay is the special mission in P2.
Okay.
So it kind of depends on like who you draw, but I got clones, Shock T, Mace. So clones first, Shock T second, Mace third, and then I got the Ayla Sakura group for wave 4.
Okay.
And they have a lot of like retribution, I think. It was hard. It was real hard. But once I didn't nail the ability block on Arc Trooper, it was basically over at gear 11 GBA.
That's the key, is you need to keep him.
Yep, you got to ability block Arc Trooper, and Clone Commander also. And then after that, it's more like spreading it around. But if you don't get the ability block onto Arc Trooper first, you're gonna have trouble, and I did.
Gotcha.
So, but it's okay. Like I know what I need to do next time. It's just one of those things like you put a lot of like resources into. Like I 6E'd 3 mods on Spy today with like a ton of mod energy refreshes.
Oh damn.
And like I bought some of those modulators with crystals. I was like, I'm not chancing it, and I still got fucked with RNG. So
that blows.
I threw my phone across the room. I'm like, I'm done with this for tonight.
Did you?
And then payout hour started for Fleet Arena. I'm like, well, I guess I'm back on the phone again.
Use your force powers to bring the phone back to you.
Yep. But I still love the bugs, and like any upgrades I do in them boost my fleet. Every 6E mod makes Spy faster,
especially with Malevolence. I mean, it's
like it's okay. It was nothing wasted. A couple mods I had on there were not the right ones for the character, so like I think I got it set right now, so it's cool. I changed my like speed arrow or my arrow out for a offense primary on spy, because you don't really need speed with them because they get so many like assists and whatnot. So yep, just kind of optimizing the mods there. I also did one other upgrade for GOTB. I took Dooku to gear 12 for the Asajj mission in P2. Almost had a 4 wave completion. Just kind of got fucked. Asajj got picked off pretty early in wave 4. And I was down to Dooku, and I was like, yeah, it's just not gonna cut it. So
opposite happened to me. Dooku got taken out.
Yeah, once Dooku's gone, it's all over. But not having either one of them, when you only have 2, it's like you lose half your squad. Besides the droid, it's like it's hard. So
yeah.
I updated my favorite characters. So Bugs and Old Republic are gone. Galactic Republic are gone off the favorite list. Now I have the clones, the Shakti clones, up as my primary gear farm.
Okay.
I had an awesome. I might want to wait on that. I got some good drops today though. But yeah, so clones are basically shard wise done. I just got to gear them up for the gas stuff. And then Shakti is like getting closer every day.
Nice.
I changed my Cantina farm to Jedi Knight Revan for relicking. I'm trying to get him up to like relic 5 and see if I can start to auto solo the HAAT raid. He's at R3 right now and still didn't really cut it, but I'm still optimistic. Anymore, the hat raid comes up so fast and goes so quick. I just want something that I can just like click auto and just like let it go, because it takes so much time and attention for the JTR squad to solo it.
Yeah.
And then I end up in like 6th place anyways. It's like, what the fuck? I don't give a shit. So I put a Zeta on for the first time in 2 months.
Dang.
I threw the Zeta lead on Jango Fett because I use him as a lead in PvP with Newt Gunray.
Do you have a stockpile, or did you have a stockpile of them, or?
Yeah, I've got 90 Zeta mats right now saved up.
So after Magna Guard, it just kind of like made you trigger shy, gun shy with.
I've been saving them for clones. I'm like, I need them for that team, so I just don't want to drop something that's not useful. So
yeah, that's smart. Never a bad idea to.
It also increases your GP so much. It's like, I don't know.
Which we'll get into.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Are we going to get into our double drops now or later?
We can if you want to mention them, and then we can kind of go over the full gambit of what we've been getting for this month, really, for bonus stuff.
Yeah, sounds good.
Just like how you allocated your resources, and then we can just kind of.
Yeah, so for double drops today on May the 4th, I dropped 800 crystals on refreshes, energy refreshes, and then after all that was over, they told us that they were upping the hard node number of attempts to 8, and I was like, God damn it. Why didn't you do this earlier?
I know. It's like we were talking about it on our Discord channel. It's just like you hate to be that person who's like, oh, I don't like the way that you gave me free shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, does anybody think about things like with something like that? Like that would be so much more useful or impactful early in the day than it would be later. It just to me, it seems a little greedy on their end. Like,
yeah.
Now you're going to want to buy crystals so you don't miss out on it. It's like,
look at this fancy crystal pack that we have that is giving you more than normal.
Did I mention this crystal pack?
Do you have $25 you'd like to give us?
It's like, guys, come on.
I am getting.
We don't want to ruin the in-game economy, guys. That would make too much sense if we gave it to you when you could use it the most. But yeah.
I am getting my Trump bucks on Wednesday, so I don't know. I might buy some crystals.
If they're in this game, if there's any time to buy crystals to spend actual money on the game, I think double drops and when there's bonus crystals being offered.
Yep.
It's a great investment. If you put time into this game, it helps the game. It helps you tremendously. I mean, you can do a lot with those
If you have about 1,000 already saved up, you can buy a crystal pack and then drop 5,000 crystals on a guaranteed character that you probably already have.
Oh my God. Jacob of the Spice Den podcast recommended we do that. One of us do that on the show. And we're not going to do that because that is a bad, ill-advised plan.
I heard somebody got somebody in his guild, I think, got Holdo with theirs. I'm like, that would be awesome. But
would it?
I mean, if you're
Ray, going for resistance,
yeah, if you're going for Ray, but that's about it.
But still, 5,000 crystals.
That's a lot of crystals.
Even if you told me it was somebody I needed, I say, I don't know. You can do a lot with 5,000 crystals.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially when there's a good chance you're going to get Jedi Knight Guardian or some shit.
Yeah.
Or Ugnaught.
Yep.
Or Chief Nebbit. I didn't know that was a character in the game until this week. So, because I've been farming my my Jawas. So
yeah, fucking Jawas.
Stocking up on shards. I took a little break though. I need to increase my shard shop currency.
After you realized Mando was a marquee character, you're like, God damn it.
Well, I'm not putting it to rest yet. I think that Baby Yoda's coming and might need a few Jawas. Maybe
we'll see.
I don't know. I'm still gonna farm. I think it's a good idea. Like I've heard of people doing that. Like our guild officer called Jansen. He has everything in all of the farms, or he's trying to accumulate everything in all stores, shard wise farm, just to have them, just in case, because there is inevitably going to be in the future. There's going to be some random event like, oh, you need Ugnaught, or
Yeah.
I'd rather at least not have to worry about character shards for something that was readily available for years,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna at least get the Jawas, maybe Ugnaught. I don't know.
Honestly, like the Galactic Legend Luke, if that comes out, like Lando, who a lot of us don't have Lando geared up, and Ugnaught, if there's like a Cloud City like part of it,
Yeah.
It could happen.
Could be.
Relic 5 Ugnaught necessary.
These Galactic Legends over I don't know when this fits in. You're still in your week, so we're still in your boost and boast. But
I just finished my blueberry lemonade go. So did you want to open a new one? Or
sure.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Let's get our other Witch's Hat beer going.
All right, which one?
Deflowered.
All right, BRB.
All right, while you are finding your beer, I'm going to talk about Deflowered real quick. Before the purchasing of the beers for this week, I had not had Deflowered. I actually had never even heard of it. But I was at the liquor store and I saw 2 Witch's Hats, so I was like, I'll get it. We like hazy IPAs on the podcast here. So Deflowered is 6.5%. No listed IBUs on this one. They actually claim that it's a very low like perceived bitterness beer. So it's not super in your face, but it is 6.5%. So it's a good kind of standard ABV level. It is brewed with oats. And I don't know if you could tell by the name, but there is no flour in this beer because it's deflowered. A lot of breweries anymore who are doing hazy IPAs are cheating, and they're putting flour in their mash to make it hazy, but they are getting all their haze on this one with oats, which is good because you don't really want a ton of flour in your beer. It's going to cut down on a lot of stuff that you want to happen.
I thought this was a losing of the virginity themed beer.
It is not. Although you probably, if you had a couple of these, you might lose your virginity.
Oh, God.
You had to throw that out there. Come on. This juicy IPA is like a full glass of fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. And their late addition hopping gives the beer a hazy glow and, like I said, barely perceived bitterness. So let me know what you think.
Oh, where'd my can go? You don't know. I've become one with the cantina, as you can see.
I like how last time it was like your basement was blending in with the cantina, and now it's just you. You're part of the cantina.
The shirt I had on earlier. All right, this is the podcast after dark.
Ooh.
You guys have been wanting to see it. Am I part of the cantina? employee of the month. It's my
Oh,
stormtrooper.
it's your
shirt.
stormtrooper one, yeah.
I was wearing this shirt and like, look,
yeah,
I'm part of the cantina now.
I was gonna call you out for not having a Star Wars shirt on May the 4th, but I guess you
Yeah, I do.
You were trying
sandbagging. I've got a stormtrooper shirt
to not be transparent.
Yeah, I didn't want to just have a floating head, because my torso is really one of my best assets. My chest specifically, my shoulders. Anyway,
you got good shoulders.
Thanks, man. It's in the genes. All right. What do you want to do here?
I'll say your shoulders aren't as good as Squirt Reynolds' shoulders. Did you see that guy?
Yeah,
lifting weights in his Leia get up.
He's one of our. If you're not on our Discord, we have some interesting folks doing some cool stuff. He's been on our Discord. I feel like from the day from when it first started.
Yeah, one of the launch times. Yeah,
but he's a strong man and like a strongman competitor, I guess, and it's cool. He lost a bet and had to wear a Leia costume, and he posted all about it. So head over to our Discord and you can check it out. Or you can join our Discord and leave immediately like some rando dude did. So, whatever.
He not only lifts weights, he also lifts our hearts.
He does.
I love that as soon as that whole, like, the guy came in and then left, Zareth came in and was like,
yeah,
I hate that fucking guy.
I know. We have Zareth and got some good folks in our Discord.
Mr. H.
Zareth of the Gambit and Mr. H, from Galactic War Report. All of our podcast homies. Shout out to those folks. We gotta have them. We gotta have somebody back on soon. That'd be fun.
Friends of the pod. Speaking of friends of the pod, I tried to get Faith 34 to join Awakened Rebels, but didn't exactly work out. He's
a little above us.
Yes. He said he was looking for something more casual, and I'm like, I don't know how casual you're looking for, but yeah. He was like, I wonder what can you guys pull 45 watt shards? I'm like, I don't think so.
What about the higher echelon in the collective?
Yeah, probably. I did offer the whole collective, but
okay. Wonder what happened. I know that he was in a long time guild and they did this weird merger thing. I guess not to, well, he talked about it in the podcast, so it's public information, but they had this merger and then they just like kicked out a bunch of people and Sir G got kicked out. Because he had spoken up about, I forget about something in the guild, but he thought that was the reason. Like they didn't want people who were
speaking their minds.
Yeah.
Had opinions.
Yeah, exactly. And then Faye stayed, but it sounds like he's not anymore.
Yeah.
But shit happens. It happens with a lot of people. I've noticed that in a lot of the players in the podcast community of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. That's happened too, or some version of that. I think Zareth and Solo Base were in the same guild at one point. Now we're in different guilds, and I think have changed guilds again or at some. I don't know, but shit happens.
Yep.
Whatever. We got a good thing going. I think with us, so that's cool.
Yeah. Mergers are never easy too, because like you're trying to optimize, and then like sometimes you realize that you fuck over like the core members of the guild, and then it kind of all falls apart. Like when I'm recruiting, I see so many posts about like people who are like, guild merger went bad, guild is now disbanding. It's like, god damn, like you were trying to optimize and like now you're all disbanding. It sucks.
Yeah. This beer is good too, by the way. Great fruit.
Yes, we should give our ratings on this beer before we move on.
It's a little bland for me. I'd probably go 4-star with some Omegas maybe.
I will say that I think it might be because we had the Blueberry Ghost first.
That's a good point. That's a very distinct, powerful beer.
I had this beer first when I first bought it. It was my first beer of like the day, and it was like one of the best hazy IPAs I've had. Like I thought it was better than M43, better than B43, better than Bell's Official. So I think it was just that we might have like hurt our palates a little bit. So like the order of operations is important.
That Blueberry Ghost is
yeah, and I'm gonna say like my rating before is gonna stand on this one. This is going to be a 6-star for me also. This one
Okay.
It's a really good one. So
I'd be interested to try it again under
Yep.
different circumstances.
The Blueberry Ghost definitely takes it the flavor out because it's so strong.
Right. We've been drinking a lot. We probably should get some meat in us.
Let's get some meat.
Let's head over to the hard meat. So this hard meat, before we get into it, I'm springing something on you here.
Yeah.
It is May the 4th, the celebration
Certainly
of
is.
Star Wars, the greatest day ever created. No, I'm just kidding. An awesome day, especially for Star Wars fans. But I thought it would be a cool thing to take a minute and just say what you're appreciative of of Star Wars. Like, it could be very specific. It could be very broad. I can start if you want. I know I'm springing this on you.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I was thinking about it, and I just thought of this day as a way to appreciate Star Wars, obviously. And, I made a plan to watch Rise of Skywalker with my wife, who didn't see it when it came out in theaters. Just given that we have a young child at home, and she didn't see The Last Jedi, which is perfectly acceptable for the same reasons. She did see Force Awakens with me in theaters. She was actually pregnant with our son, and we had him, I think, a week after or something like that. But
You didn't get her pregnant while watching Force Awakens, did you? Force Awakens, baby.
A different force is awoken. So yeah, we had a plan to watch it, which we did, which was awesome. And then I was thinking about just like what Star Wars over the last year, because this podcast hasn't been going on for a year yet. It would be a year in, I think, July or August.
I think July.
This July will be a year. But I am thankful for this podcast and co-hosting it with you specifically. Star Wars. Yeah. Cheers. Star Wars. Had it not been for Star Wars, we might not be doing this. And you've been a friend of mine for a super long time. And I consider you like one of my best friends. So it's really cool. Like, we kind of lost touch over the years, unfortunately. And, life happens and different things. And we used to be together playing music, which I miss. And I'm bummed that it didn't pan out the way I think either of us wanted it to. But I'm glad that we're doing this podcast together.
Me too.
I'm glad. I'm thankful for Star Wars for being the medium that gives me an excuse to hang out with you once a week or twice a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on when we do it.
Yeah.
So, cheers.
Cheers to you. So now I have to say why I'm thankful for.
I mean, if there's something
after that very well heartfelt, I could say
be anything, dude. Anything you want.
Yeah, like I would say kind of the same thing. Like, Star Wars helps connect like people. It's not just like because the movies are fun and whatever. Like, it's something to talk about with people who like not like for you and I, but like, at work too, like people who you might not have like a ton in common with that you can like connect with over that kind of stuff. And I've gotten so many like work friends into the game, and it's something that we can like talk about at lunch or whatever. It's like a conduit for like a lot of relationships,
Yeah, totally. It really is.
It's kind of like a backbone, like a back burner that like it can like give some things that we can all share. So it's huge. It's amazing. It like gets you out of the stress of everyday work life, of everyday family life sometimes, and gives you something to fall back on that's like usually reliable, entertaining, and fun. So can do a lot.
100%. I agree with that. That was good. I like, it's crazy, like the amount of people, the diversity of the people that are into Star Wars. Like, there's a dude I work with who I never would have thought is into Star Wars, and one day we just started talking about the Mandalorian. Yeah, and I was like, dude, Mandalorian. Yeah. I have a podcast. We're talking about the Mandalorian. He's like, you have a podcast? And then it just started on this rabbit hole, and he checked it out, and I don't think he listens anymore because he doesn't play the game. But I mean, why would you? We're speaking it's a foreign language at this point.
Yeah, totally.
But I like that it connects people too. So
who
anyway,
do you think is the most important current Star Wars like person involved in the franchise right now?
Ooh, right now?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I don't know. Probably that figurehead at Disney.
Oh yeah, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah. I mean, she seems to be pulling the strings for everything.
What would you say important for you though? Like for me, like Dave Filoni is like totally taken Star Wars like to another level. Like with
Yeah.
obviously the years and years of Clone Wars stuff, but he's so involved in the Mandalorian
Yeah.
production. I watched the first episode of the Mandalorian behind the scenes thing today. There's so much cool things like hearing from all the directors and whatnot. So
I mean, yeah, he's got to be up there, especially with his involvement with the Mandalorian. And then
Yep.
I can't fully appreciate the Clone Wars stuff because I'm only in season 3 at this point. But all indications is that he had a big part in that. I'd say probably for me right now, probably JJ. Honestly, watching Rise of Skywalker again.
Yep.
I love it. I think it's still one of my favorite Star Wars movies, if not my favorite right now. Like
it's really good. I like it a lot. And people there's haters for it, but I don't know. Kylo Ren in this movie is just really good.
Incredible.
Really good. Yep.
Incredible character. I'm liking his character even more.
Yep.
And he's rising on my favorite Star Wars characters list for sure.
I think Finn got a ton better in this movie too.
Yeah, Finn was cool. Yep.
Poe, meh.
Yeah, he was more comedic. Like he was more comedic relief.
Yeah.
In which I don't know.
I was impressed too, like watching it again today, like with what they were able to do with the Carrie Fisher footage. Like
yeah. So how much of it was her?
You didn't have a ton to work with, but there was these like snippets of like B-roll things that they didn't know what to do with or whatever, or they repurposed, and then they built dialogue around it.
Yeah.
They would have like a stand-in character shooting her from behind while these things are going on, so that like you couldn't see like her reactions, and then you're focusing on like Poe talking to her, so
yeah.
it's or you're whatever. It
was
really
kind of
cool.
Reverse engineered it.
Yep.
Yeah, I loved it. Heidi, my wife, was very confused. She's like, "That's CGI." I'm like, "That looks way too good to be CGI." Like, I think they reverse engineered it and had probably stockpiled some footage, given her health conditions, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe they just had some extra stuff and made it work. But
yeah.
All right. So today's hard meat, we're going to talk about GAC a little bit, and some news in the Star Wars universe that was announced.
Yep.
Well, I guess do you want to start with that? What was announced that you texted me about?
Oh yeah. I don't have that on my notes immediately, but yeah. So we're talking about like all the new possible options for Star Wars movies, Star Wars shows. Obviously, we know Mando season 2's happening, coming out in the fall. We have the Cassian Andor series coming out in 2021. And then we have the Obi-Wan series coming out in 2022. But I guess it was today at like around 8 a.m. they announced that Taika Waititi is going to get a Star Wars film of his own.
Awesome.
And it's going to be written by Christy Wilson Cairns, who was the writer of 1917, which was critically acclaimed World War I movie. So it should be a pretty good one. So if you don't know him and what he's done for the Star Wars franchise so far, he had a couple Mando episodes, including the finale.
Yeah, he directed them.
Yeah. He also was the filmmaker behind Thor Ragnarok and Jojo Rabbit, which I don't know.
They won a lot of awards, Jojo
Okay.
Rabbit. I'm very familiar with Thor Ragnarok, and he also voiced this, like, I forget what he is. He's like a stalagmite man or something, made out of like asteroid rocks or something, who's hilarious.
Yeah.
He voices IG-11 though too, right?
Yeah, he does. Yep.
From Mandalorian.
He's got a couple new ones coming out to a soccer film called Next Goal Wins, and then the follow-up to Ragnarok, Thor Love and Thunder, which is due out in 2022.
Nice. That's awesome. I think he's done a hell of a job with what he's put out so far, and looking forward to seeing it.
I guess this is probably going to like replace whatever the David Benowie and DB Weiss were probably going to do. So
Okay.
they haven't really said that it's going to be a trilogy because I think Ryan Johnson supposedly has like a maybe has a trilogy in the works, and then they've only said that he has one movie right now. So
Okay,
play it slow.
gotcha.
He is also the either producer or director on What We Do in the Shadows, the movie that kind of like spawned the TV show What We Do in the Shadows, which is the one that I recommended to you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if you checked it out yet, but definitely one of the funnier like new comedies out there. So
viewing things at the hard meat household takes about a year or two for us to get through anything.
Yep.
I'm surprised we got as far. We got like 3/4 of the way through Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
With a 3-year-old, terrorizing the house.
Yep.
Simultaneously.
I get that.
All right, so we're gonna talk about some GAC. GAC wrapped up this week. Actually, today, matter of fact.
Thank God.
Do you want to start? You want me to start?
I guess I can start.
All right. What was your record? Or present it however you would like.
My record was 1-2.
Okay.
Not awesome.
You got to win.
And even that last win was a little bit dicey. I won by default. It's weird though, because I'm like doing better. Like I'm clearing more than I have been before. Like I think my strategy is kind of like basically where it needs to be. But unfortunately, my roster doesn't have enough good defense. So in round 1, I had a probably the second strongest guy in the entire like 8 people matchups. I didn't think that he had a good counter to Padme, so I dropped my Padme on defense, and I'm like sitting back. I'm like, have fun with that shit. He attempted it and finished it off really easily.
What's up, Slevin? Sorry,
that's
in the chat.
That strategy did not work. And then because of that, I had one fewer offensive team to work with. So I could not clear him. I had one at the end that I couldn't finish off. I lost that one 1483 to 1740. I also thought that I would be able to like stop him on fleet. That didn't work either. So it is what it is. Round 2 went a little better. Still lost, but that one was 1739 to 1745. So I only lost by 6 banners. And that's same close. Thing as the one before that. My defense is just kind of too squishy. I need one more good defensive team to be a stopper, or at least like use a good squad against. He went
trip him up.
I think he went all undermanned on me. I was facing some defense that I don't normally face in that round, which was kind of fun. I faced a CLS team and a Shock T team. I've actually never seen a Shock T team in GAC because normally those are kind of offensive teams.
I use mine on defense.
Do you? Okay.
They can be tricky sometimes. A lot of people don't know exactly how to counter them, and they get holds. And mine's low GP. Like it was like 79,000, and I'm still getting holds occasionally.
Yeah, I mean, I think on that kind of a team, I probably would put that on defense because it couldn't really do much on offense. Too well. But this was like a fully gear 12 one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Shock might have even been gear 13. So I lost that one by 6 banners. And then round 3, this is like, to win 8th place, basically.
Yeah.
This asshole put literally every single team that he had on defense, including his arena team, his General Grievous team, a Relic Night Sister team. It was fucking crazy.
So it wasn't auto defense. They just went full defense. Huh?
Just all defense. I can usually beat the D-Revan teams pretty easily. Like I might leave like a Malik out because I can't finish him off, but it took me 3 attempts to beat his Darth Revan team. I also took 2 attempts to beat his GG. So in the front bottom, 5 attempts.
Oof.
So then when I got to the back, I basically had 1 team left, and I just took 1 team down. I couldn't even clear that whole zone. So I was like, I'm going to take 8th place on this one. But the dipshit never attacked me. So I won that one 922 to 640.
Slevin feels your pain. He said, ouchie.
Yep.
So he's sympathetic to you.
Was not good.
Well, it's good that you got a full clear in there, and you mentioned you said you're getting more
clears.
You're getting more clears. You're getting more banners, and I think
I am.
it's going to take time to develop a sound strategy.
Yep.
And the necessary defense teams that will be sneaky and get you holds.
And if there was one that I could get Kyber on, it would have been this one because of the like pilot feats. I did pretty well with the pilot feats also, but in the end, I was still like 300 points away from getting it.
Oh, they were that close?
Yeah, 400 points maybe. Yeah.
Ooh, from Kyber?
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, that sucks. So that bar was like
basically, I think one win would have gotten me to Kyber.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, pretty sure.
That's rough, man. But we're gonna talk about. After I go through mine, we're gonna compare our rosters, and I did a deep dive into some roster comparisons and did some research. So maybe we'll figure out why, your opponents, because when we do compare them, yours are typically, they look a lot more difficult than what I'm facing. Not that I have like a walk in the park, but it just seems like overall you have some tougher folks.
Yeah, they're pretty rough. Can
I
do a quick pee break?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. BRB.
Slevin, how did you do? I see. I'm getting more GAC teams, not even setting defense or attacking normal. Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry. I'm reading that question. I am getting more GAC teams not even setting defense or attacking normal. Yeah, I don't, some people actually heard on a podcast, on the Galactic War Report podcast, Mr. H, he has not been even setting defense. He's just been letting the game set it and pick his best tunes for him. And then he banks on the opponent not attacking, and he just kind of takes out what he can with whatever squads he has left. So I don't know, maybe that's a valid strategy for some people who haven't had much success in GAC. My first round, actually, they set defense but didn't attack, which I don't understand. I don't know, it might just be luck of the draw, Slevin. Tough to say. I mean, GAC for me, I don't know how you can forget about it personally. It's like, I can't wait. I know when I have to set my defense. I know exactly when I need to open it. It's like, it's crazy. Yeah, I know. I do the same thing. Like you get the bad synergies. Sometimes I'll talk about it in my round one, but my opponent, I was scouting them ahead of time, and I was looking at their I can't remember if they had GAC history or not. I went on .gg and tried to look up their history. If they did, I looked at it. But either way, I mean, they had a really tough Darth Revan team with pretty high relics. I mean, their roster kind of petered off after that. But I'm just talking about my round one, Darkit.
Yeah.
I ended up going 2-1 overall. But in my round one, Slevin was saying that he's getting a lot of people that either just aren't setting defense or attacking. So
that's crazy. This was the first one I had in a long time where I didn't get attacked in that round 3.
My round one ended that way. My opponent, well, actually they did attack. They just didn't set defense. They just I'd auto set for them.
You're pretty much screwed if you get auto set like that, in round 1, because then like you don't have your good teams.
Right. So. They took out like one of my defense teams and then stalled on my CLS that I had on defense. But I was scared because when I scouted them, they had like a pretty tough Darth Revan team with high relics, like Relic 7 Darth Revan, Relic 7 Marauder.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else. I think they had Malik too, but I was able to, I won. It wasn't pretty, but I don't even think I got to fleets because their R7 Marauder was just wrecking shit. Marauder just was literally one-shotting anything that it touched. It was crazy.
Sucks.
But I still got the win. I had more banners than they did. Round 2, I lost 1743 to 1185. I failed on a mediocre Darth Revan Malik team with my Padme. I took my Padme squad. And it was really weird because my Padme squad is fairly relic. Like I have an R7 Jedi Knight Anakin, R5 GK, and the rest are Gear 12, and I think I have a Gear 11 C3PO. But
Yeah.
Normally, like that's my arena team, and I can take out like moderately relic Darth Revan teams, no problem. I mean, well, not no problem, but at least probably 60% of the time, let's say. But this one, all they had was an R4 Darth Revan, and everyone else was Gear 12, and I think the Malik was like Gear 11, Gear 10, and I biffed it. I don't know. I just couldn't get good RNG. I also I used Padme's cunning plan late or early. I'm sorry, I used it early because their Bastila was so slow that my Padme was faster. So Darth Revan went, and then my Padme, I stupidly used cunning plan, which the effectiveness of it is that it's removing debuffs from the team. And Bastila hadn't gone yet. So there was no debuffs really for Padme to cleanse.
Yeah.
Therefore, I wasn't getting the bonus protection, which ties into building up the stacks of courage, which gives you the damage to kill the team. So it was a misplay on my part. And I basically had to be perfect, and I wasn't. And so I lost that one. And then the third round, I won 1707 to 695. Now, going into this one, I did scout my opponent, and they had a pretty tough, pretty decent squad, Darth Revan squad. But I looked at it, and I looked at their GAC history as well, and they were very predictable. They were doing the same things. They consistently took Darth Revan. They had a R7 Darth Revan, an R5 Darth Karen, and an R5 HK 47. And they would use them to 3-man geos every round pretty much, which they just got huge banners from using those 3 characters. And then after that, they didn't have a ton of like really strong teams. They had an R7 Grievous, but outside of that, not a whole lot of scary stuff. I think they had a Jedi Knight Revan Relic as well, but I wasn't too scared of their overall roster, just that main Darth Revan team, which they saved for offense. I even texted you. I was like, I'm going to challenge my opponent this time. Like, I was generally following the guidelines of Xerath in solo base, saving teams for offense primarily. But I just had a feeling like with this one, I'm like, I'm going to challenge this person because I see what they're doing. Like they're bullying people around with this Darth Revan 3-man squad and getting really good scores because a lot of people are putting Geos on defense, and I normally would have. They would have been my back row, and then get easily destroyed by their Darth Revan. So I didn't. I put Padme on defense and Grievous on defense. And you even told me, you're like, I don't know, man, they can get countered easily by Jedi Knight Revan.
Yeah.
Like, you just be mindful of that, and I didn't expect for them to not be able to clear them. I just expected them to not get like crazy good undersized banners, and there was a chance that they could fail.
Yeah.
I was right. I lucked out. They could not beat my Padme team. They beat GK in one attempt, but they stalled on Padme. They could only kill Padme, and then they stopped attacking at that point.
Yeah.
So I was super stoked.
You just whittled down their like will to continue.
Seriously did.
Perfect.
And what was really cool about it is, one, it felt awesome to outsmart somebody and like find out what they're doing, like taking away what their strength is.
Yep.
That's my favorite way of playing Grand Arena.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to continue going that way. Like that's what I did on my way to Kyber the first time. Like that was the strategy that I took. It's a little risky because if my opponent is not predictable and they change up to what they're doing, I'm playing around their setup and their history. So that's the only way I can really get screwed if I play well.
Yep.
But what was really cool about it is that because I beat this person, I got Kyber on the last round. So I got Kyber twice in a row, which was really cool. And I got some feats done too on this match because my opponent had a Phoenix in the back. They had like a crappy Phoenix squad. So I took Vader and then Wiggs to get the pilot feat. And yeah, that put me over the edge to get Kyber. So
Nice.
So that was cool. It felt good to get Kyber twice in a row. Glad to keep this. I'm gonna keep the streak going.
You got that trench runner title?
Which one was that? That was the one for
Wedge and Biggs, I think.
Oh, and Farm Boy Luke. Yeah.
Yep.
Farm Boy Luke was in there too. Yep, we got that.
I had that one on for a couple days. And then Princess came and I was like, I'm going to put Princess on.
Right. Yeah, I might put Trench Runner on there. That's cool. I also got the Tarkin one. Oh, well, it's not a title, but it's a feat.
The Fleet Arena one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. My Fleet Arena shard sucks because I put in a Mace capital ship with like a level 45 first order special TIE pilot, whatever, special forces TIE pilot with one ship just so that I could drop so that
fall a little bit.
Yeah, so I can maybe get the Tarkin achievement, which I did.
Yeah.
And I only dropped to like 30th. Like, come on, guys.
You guys
so that means there's 30 people playing. That's what I always think of. There's 30 people in my shard, I guess, that are active.
Yeah, my fleet shard's not very active either.
Yeah. Then on Brick Hard Note, I went 3-0 in GAC, which was cool. I probably would have hit Kyber had I not taken a week off, but maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm undefeated still in the alt.
It's fun, isn't it? I like
like I said, I use geos and clear 2 zones every single time. I guess the issue is that I can't clear the whole table, you know.
Yeah.
Like I could probably hit Kyber if I like had one more defensive squad to like throw out there, and then I could keep Padme on offense. But I just don't have enough to clear that last one, you know. So
I think when you get closer, like I think around 900,000 GP, that's when I started to get, you know, my bounty hunters together.
Yeah.
Like you really develop because you just need squads. You need halfway decent squads that you need bodies, you know.
Yep.
You can't just throw in like, you know, a level 50 Ewok scout and hope for the best, you know, like you need some synergies and some decent teams.
I mean, I'm a division 11 in that. So it's like the lowest division possible. 400,000 GP. So
okay. Yeah, you don't.
Not much I can do.
You don't have enough, yeah. But
I'm okay taking first place every single time.
Hell yeah. Not mad about that.
I'm gonna open my Miller High Life now.
Nice. High Life. So speaking of GAC, Darkett has brought to my attention and talked about a possible conspiracy theory about GAC matchups, and considering that I have put money into the game before, that what if CG purposefully matches you up who hasn't spent as much money in the game against folks who have spent money in the game, so that it demoralizes the people that don't spend as much, and so that they eventually do spend to win.
Or they quit.
What'd you say?
Or they quit.
Or they quit, right? And what I did is I looked at it and I ran, I did a few different things. I ran the DSR bot, which compares both of our profiles. And I found some interesting stuff in there. So the way matchmaking works, that's what I also wanted to understand, is how matchmaking works for GAC. And there's not a whole ton of concrete information out there about how the matchmaking is set up. I wish there was like a one size fits all document that you can kind of just reference about how it works.
So that plays into my theory that they're fucking us because they don't give you any information.
Right. But we do know is that it matches up a percentage of your GP. So it generally takes the top X amount of characters, and that varies from GP bracket, and also which ties into which division of GAC you're in. And you and I are both in Division 3, which is the biggest division of all of the divisions in this game. and we're both right around at the time that I ran it this morning. I'm at 3.5 million GP. You're at 3.3. And what they do is they run, I've heard top 65 is the number that I've heard thrown around on other podcasts. I don't know if that's for Division 1 because that's who was speaking about that stat, but the DSR bot runs your top character GP, so your top 60. And yours and mine are identical, 1.2 million. But that is a deceptive statistic because what makes up that 1.2 million is important. You know, they could be the same. They could be the same number, but when you really break down what that top of that 60 GP is, can really indicate what kind of matchups you're going to get.
Yeah.
Depending on what the higher end is. So what also was factored into that GP, so it's kind of irrelevant that our GP is the exact same. That just means that we have the same number, but it may not be telling the full story.
Right.
And when you look at this comparison on this DSR bot, it goes even in more depth, like about relics, I think is an important area. Are you looking at the doc too?
Yep.
Okay. So for relics, you have one R1, I have 0. Neither one of us have any R2 characters. I have 2 R3. You have 1. We are tied at one apiece for tier 4. Now for tier 5, I have 5. You have 1. And then I think this is where the big disparity is. I have 1 R7. You have 7 R7. So I've heard this talked about before too. And I did kind of confirm it on the forums as well when I was looking, that your relic levels are factored into your matchups as well. Now, it's not going to read clearly in the top 60 from a numeric standpoint, because again, ours are identical. But your top 60, you could have identical top 60, but the high end of your top 60, which you have 7 R7s, that is going to impact your matchups like huge, great.
Well, especially since like 5 of those R7s are on one squad. And if I use that one squad, then I only have 2 left over. So it's not it's not balancing those R7s out of multiple squads that are strong. It's like I waste them all on one. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, and it's like it's not like bloat, but in a way it is, in the sense that it's bloating the matchups that you're getting.
Yep.
Because you're getting people that probably have allocated that to different areas or spread it around more to more like key characters, which it's great to have a, as you put it, an R35 Padme team. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But it may hurt you in regard to who you're getting matched up with.
Yeah.
And then furthermore, there's even more data. Like it goes through, compares our GAC histories, but another key area is Zetas. So you have 48 Zetas. I only have 38. So again, that factors into your GP as well. That's on that high end range of the GP that gets factored in for matchmaking.
And Zetas too, like the GP that increases is terrible. Like it doesn't give you that much of it gives you a little bit of an advantage, but like it shouldn't give you that much of a GP boost though. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It's substantial. Like, I just put a Zeta on Jedi Knight Anakin today, and he was at 26,000 GP, and then that put him up to, I think, 29,000 GP, just for one Zeta. I don't really know how substantial of an improvement that is, but
yeah,
I think that's important too. Now, Gear 11s, I have 13 Gear 11s, and you only have 7. But I think that gets made up for because you have 32 Gear 12s. I have 27, which I think kind of evens out a little bit because you tend to take things to Gear 12 more, and I tend to not, which is evident in here. And I don't know if that's better or not. I want more Gear 12s. I wish like all my troopers were Gear 12. I wish I had more Gear 12s, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then another relevant statistic, I think, is all right. There's Zetas. yeah, I guess that was really it. So what I did furthermore is I took
You've
your
cleared
top
100 more zones than I've cleared. Wow.
I didn't bring it up. You wanted to bring it up.
Oh, I'm gonna delete the game right now.
No. What I didn't understand is that as far as rounds go, you see where it says GA rounds.
Mhm.
I don't understand how I have 48 rounds and you have 11. I haven't been playing GIC longer than you, I don't think.
Is it just wins, overall wins? I have to have more than 11 wins.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Anyway. Okay, so furthermore, I went more into kind of dove into how to break down your GP. So what I did is I compared our top 10 characters, respectively. So your top 10 Darth Darkit came out to 291,000 GP. It's just the top 10. So you had Grievous, Padme, Grandmaster Yoda, GK, Jedi Knight Revan, Ahsoka, Solo, Raidhan, Chewie, Jedi Knight Anakin, and JTR. So that all came out to 29,000 GP. And that's rounding down because I just, if it was 28,600, I just said 28,000. So it's not super scientific.
Yeah.
My brick hard math was not flawless. My top 10 broke down to 264,000 GP. So a 27,000 difference in GP in the top 10 alone. So I think that is telling as far as your higher end roster. You have all those Gear 7 or Relic 7s were included in the list that I gave you. Whereas I only have the one for Jedi Knight Anakin for attacker, just because I feel like he's clutch for that.
Yeah.
So I think that's where your matchups are more difficult. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Yeah.
Because it's deceptive. Because initially I thought that you had a good point. Looking at your characters, I'm like, or looking at your opponents, I'm like, yeah, you're getting a lot more difficult stuff. But like when I looked at our top 60 GP, it was the same. So I would think that would factor in, all of those improvements, the R7s. Yeah. But if the top end of your characters are already R7, and you have 7 of them, that can account for, my top end is much lower than your top end.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. I hope I
think the most telling conclusion that I have of the stuff that you pulled is what I said earlier, is that 5 of my top 7 are in one squad. I use them once, and then after that, I'm done,
Yeah.
And especially if they don't clear the top squad from the opponent, if it's a Darth Revan on defense that like I can't fully beat, then I'm wasting more than I have to. So yeah, it totally makes sense.
I think bringing stuff to R7 can be great. They're great characters to have. I've tried to not go to R7 with many things from two different angles, just because I'm cheap and I didn't really want to like go all out on the characters and farm all of that data and all that signal data and detract from other grinds and other energy expenditures. But also I just wanted to be economic with it. It's like, I don't really need an R7 Asajj.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have one, but I don't need it.
Right.
Really, with the Gear 13, you're just hoping for that huge increase. If they're attacker, you want the attack bonus, but like really just the health and protection benefit from having a relic character is really nice.
Yeah.
But I think that might be where
it makes sense.
Because it's just the stuff that you're facing, like the stuff I'm facing is typically like one person will have, they might have both Revans, but only one of their Revans squads are like highly developed.
Mm-hmm.
Or they may not even have either one of them developed, or they may not even have the other Revan. They might only have one. But it seems like the stuff you're getting, it's like you're dealing with some pretty high-end relics and some pretty tough characters all around, like pretty developed stuff. And tougher ships too. Like you have we didn't really talk about the ships much. ship GP is the same, but again, you have higher end stuff with your home one. You know, your ships, your top 60 ships are a lot higher than mine because you have a Gear 13 Chewie and Han, which is going to feed into your GP for your home one fleet, right? Don't you have a relic Chewie too?
Yeah. R5, Chewie, R7, Han.
I don't think I have a single relic pilot other than Jedi Knight Anakin.
I have Wedge relics too.
Yeah, you have Wedge. So, and you have a lot of 60 mods too.
I make bad choices.
I don't know. I think it's a combination of like having those higher end relic characters, and then also like your defense for GAC needs work. You know, like you don't. It's hard. I kind of stumbled into a lot of the stuff that like the tools that I have for GAC. Like I was cognizant of it, but at the same time, like I do have more diversity. Like when I was creating defenses for you, and we talked about GAC a couple weeks ago, like I was running out of options for what to set for defense with you. It's like, I don't know, Phoenix. If you have to say, I don't know, Phoenix at a certain point, it's like, oof,
yeah,
you got to have something. Because where we're at, if you see Phoenix on defense, you're like, okay.
Well, and like Phoenix
scraping the barrel, the bottom of the barrel.
It's Phoenix with Sabine too. It's not even Phoenix with Ezra because I have to pull Ezra out to use him with my Jedi.
You know what? I like Sabine. I love me some Sabine. I have her at least 7-starred and Gear 8 or whatever. But I don't know if she's the best choice on defense, even for Phoenix. Whatever. It's not a meta team, so who gives a shit? But
for me, it's like I got to put something down there, and like I got to save Ezra for my Bastila, Jedi Knight Revan, Hermit Yoda squad.
I mean, if it's what you have, it's what you have. But
it beats GG, so I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a definitely a worthy expenditure of resources.
Yep.
But
well, I guess I feel like I understand the GAC matchups more now.
It's confusing. I wish they had a better breakdown of it because you can't really go solely by the numbers. The numbers don't fully tell the story when you're looking at relic levels. And actually, I heard on the Gambit podcast, Zareth was talking about one of his friends who essentially he considers, and he has had like a continuous streak of Kyber, like I think a long-standing streak of making Kyber, and they're a higher, I think Division 1 player, but R5 is R7 for this player. Like they don't have a single character above R5. And they do that for the efficiency to get, or I guess, the roster economy. So they get fair matchups in GAC and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wish I would have known that 2 months ago.
Right. Honestly, I've always envied the way that you level stuff up. You'll be like, I got like even before Gear 13, you always had way more Gear 12s than I did. I'm like, fuck, I need to focus like Darkit does on getting stuff to Gear 12 because
how's that working for me now?
Well, I accidentally, being lazy or not really wanting to go fully commit like my bounty hunters. I don't have full Gear 12 bounty hunters. You do.
Yeah.
I don't. I would love to have full Gear 12 bounty hunters. Troopers, like I talked about before, I'd love to have Gear 12.
I gotta finish Jango Fett Gear 12. He's been sitting at Gear 11 for a year.
Yeah, he's a solid character for sure.
Yeah,
and with the new bounty hunters, be interesting to see how he works.
Yeah, throw him in with Mando on PvP.
Yeah. And then I guess we should touch on just we've been getting a lot of free shit lately.
Yeah. Should we go through the content update?
Sure.
The May the 4th one?
Well, before that, the April one on the 29th, it touched on some of the stuff that was coming, like the events that they added.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
For May the 4th and Stay and Play. They added Salt Battle Forest Moon for today, which we're in at the time of this recording, Monday the 4th. Galactic Bounty number 1 tomorrow. Salt Battle Places of Power on the 6th. Mythic Grandmaster's Training on the 7th, Galactic Bounty number 2 on the 8th, Mythic Emperor's Demise on the 9th, and Assault Battle Rebel Roundup on the 10th. And then they boosted our login character or login rewards like significantly for me.
That was amazing. Like the login rewards are so good.
Oh, massive.
What is it? At the end of the month, we get like 500 crystals.
Yeah. Quite a bit. No, more than that.
I always forget how to find them. Where do you even go to get them?
Well, they I just have it. I have the Star Wars. I have the post pulled up.
Oh, yeah. Here
Looks
it is
like
too.
you get we're getting like over 1,000, like 1,200 crystals.
Yep.
We're getting 500 crystals on
The
second to last day of the month,
and then 5 Zetas on the last day.
Yeah, 7 total for the month, which is awesome.
5
and Treya,
5 Omegas.
yeah,
I don't need Treya shards, but
that's nice, especially for a lot of players. That's huge.
Yeah.
Treya login shards. That's crazy. And then they did the double drops, of course, for hard nodes, and mod battles, for the 4th, 5th, and 6th. But they did not do it for Cantina, which I thought was kind of lame.
I thought that was lame too. But what was the thought process there, you think?
We want to give them shit, but not all the shit.
Not good shit.
But I'm liking I'm using it primarily for gear. It's a nice way to accelerate the gear farm.
Yeah.
And this does not include Galactic Legend event tickets.
Yep.
Which, real quick, sidebar, I've been hearing a lot of people complain about the Galactic Legends event as far as like accumulating tokens. It seems like a real pain in the ass.
I don't know who you're talking to because I don't know anybody who's doing that.
Well, no, just from podcasts like
yeah, gotcha.
Xerath and Solo Base and Faye 34 and Sergi of the Holotable News Network podcast.
Gotcha.
They've been talking about it, and it's really a crock of shit. It's bullshit. Like you do all of the lofty requirements for just being able to do the event. Get relicking up all these obscure characters that are useless otherwise. Outside of this event, and then this ticket farming process is excruciating. Like you have to halt all of your farms essentially. Like all of your energy is going towards farming these tickets that you may or may not actually succeed the event when using said tickets. So it's like multiple weeks of farming these crappy tickets. Yeah.
Ugh.
So this is after, and that's what the annoying part is. It's after you've done, you've jumped through all the hoops. You have all of the relic characters. Then you have to do this.
It sounds not fun at all.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound fun at all. And then, another good point is like, where are you going to go from here with the Galactic Legends? Like, you're going to drop more Galactic Legends? You're going to do a similar type of event?
For Luke?
I don't know, man. I think it's a bad setup. It's an annoying setup. Why would you want to make people stop farming stuff?
Well, and like it makes it less fun too. Like you're just like whittling them down to this like very narrow path that like doesn't lead them to much besides like, I have to do this to get this character. Yeah,
you're not, and you may not be progressing either. That's one of the silver linings of farming gear and farming different shards. It's that you're building on something, but potentially you're working for a few days in a row, and if you fail your attempt, you're literally getting nothing for it because you're farming like really crappy low energy guilds or low energy nodes. So that you get, you get the most bang for your buck with the ticket drop rates, right, which are about 30%. So, or 33%, whatever. Anyway, not looking forward to it, but it's down a ways.
As far as the double drops go for today, how did you do? What was your big
really thing? Edit 2, finishing off Edit 2, and I guess I talked about it all earlier, is the Magna Guard, getting him almost to gear 11. Just lots of gear. Just farmed gear the whole time. And
I got like 30 shards of shock tea today.
Nice. That's nice.
Because we got like 5 or whatever in that one big bundle.
Yeah.
And then I did like 4 or 5 refreshes on her today. So
nice.
I was at like 2 out of 100. And now I'm 32 out of 100.
That's nice. I'm going to grab a drink real quick.
Yep. Other notable ones that I did for double drops: Vulture Droid, I got 9 more blueprints. Hyena Bomber 8. Edda 2, I got 10, and then about 12 stun guns. Like I said, I went crazy on the mod slicing materials. I got like 120 mod amplifiers and a bunch of capacitors, so I did pretty good on the mod stuff. And they all went into Geo Spy, and I failed the Watt mission. So good use of resources. But it is what it is. While Brick is gone, I want to quickly plug that I'll be joining Jacob of the Spice Den podcast on his podcast that will release on Monday, May 11th. We're going to be covering the series finale of the Clone Wars, which I just watched today on May the 4th, and I have lots of opinions on, which I will share on our recording, which will happen Wednesday and will be released on Monday the 11th. So if you're not already subscribed to the Spice Den podcast, hit that up and do it. While we were waiting for Brick to come back, I will say that my Miller High Life is not as good as the deflowered IPA that I had earlier. It's not quenching my thirst as well, but it is the champagne of beer, so I can't really complain. Brick, I was just talking about how I'm going to be on the Spice Den podcast for the series wrap up of the Clone Wars.
Oh, nice.
It's dropping on May 11th. We'll be recording on Wednesday this week.
Sweet. I will tune. Well, I won't tune in because
don't be a lot of spoilers.
Yeah, I need to get caught up here. So another as part of the May 4th stay and play events hashtag, CG gave us a celebration inbox. Yeah,
we got Princess Leia episode 4 portrait.
Mm-hmm.
We all got the title of princess, which I put on immediately, and the portrait. I was excited for all the mod stuff that we got. We got bonding pins, fusion discs, power flow control chips, fusion coils. We got 50 amplifiers, 50 capacitors, 20 modulators. So I went crazy on the mods after that came in.
Me too. I got all 6 E-mods on my Han Solo finally.
Nice. I looked at my Han Solo mods earlier today, and I was like, holy shit, what the hell was I doing when I was modding Han Solo? So I got to change him out a little bit at some point soon. And CLS, my CLS mods are horrible. I don't know what I was doing.
It's funny when you revisit them, you know, a mod, like when you've, because mods are complicated. They're really complicated. Like now it's like, especially on my alt, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm looking for somewhat. But it's impossible to stay up on all of your mods all of the time on all accounts. You know,
I haven't touched the CLS team mods in over a year. So like when I look at them now, I'm like, I did not know what I was doing back then. So
yeah,
we got 500,000 credits, 500,000 ship credits. We got some fragmented signal data.
Yeah, it was nice.
Lots of good stuff. We got a Zin Biddle card. I was excited though because I got 5 ARC Trooper shards, which I have not been farming too well.
I just started farming ARC Trooper yesterday, I think.
Nice.
It's my new Cantina grind.
5 Shock T shards, and then some other ones that like we don't need anymore. All the raid ones. 5 Zetas. And then they always got to throw in Clone Wars Chewbacca. We got 3 shards of Clone Wars Chewbacca.
Yeah.
I think one of the better things in this release, obviously that free stuff was great. Very happy with it, but between May the 4th and May 28th, the hardened node cap has increased from 5 to 8.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They also want us to know that they've updated the free Bronzium packs from 5 to 10, which I'd never open 5 Bronzium packs because
no,
who waits that long? 20 minutes.
You want to save up the. Oh, I see what you're saying. The free ones.
The free ones, yeah.
No. I
mean, because I go on the game probably 3 or 4 times a day. And I don't know. I might open 3 Bronzium packs.
Yeah.
But now they're going to refresh it 10 minutes. So you never know.
I guess that was it. As far as like bonuses, right?
Yeah, pretty much. There's a Leia Organa bundle coming in. Bastila bundle. Nothing really important. There's a Mother Talzin bundle. I know you need that.
Sure don't.
Nope.
Yeah,
sure
if you're going to spend money in this game, get crystals. I don't think the bundle very often, like like the resource bundles sometimes seem semi-reasonable. Like get a ton of energy and like, a few hundred crystals or more.
Yeah.
Those can be worth it. I mean, you can really make some progress on some grinds if you're going to spend money on the game, which
but like
I encourage people if you.
The character bundles are never good. It's like,
no.
Oh, you're going to give me 20 shards? Like, what is that going to do for me?
And the probabilities, if there's a probability range, you're in trouble.
If you're in the 10 to 330s, just don't do it.
If you look at the probabilities, there's like a separate website that it takes you to. They're laughable. I mean, it's crazy. The chance of you getting more than like 5 or 10 shards is remote.
Yep.
I've made that mistake before when I first started playing the game years and years ago. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get 330 shards. I was stupid.
Well, what if I try again?
Right.
Well, what if I try a third time? Oh, 10. Oh,
and
7.
like Jacob's guildmate getting Holdo, like that is best case scenario and still not even that cool. I mean,
5,000 crystals for Holdo? I don't know.
Probably
not worth it.
I mean, think about what you could do with 5,000 crystals. There's so much you could do with 5,000 crystals over time.
When they announced it initially, I thought it was like one of those 1,300 ones, and I'm like, fuck it. That's like 4 days of fleet rewards. I'll drop one, and it'll still be good for 330 shard shop. But 5,000 crystals, pass. Hard pass.
Hard pass. Yeah.
Hard pass.
Brick hard pass. Definitely not doing that. That's just not really
not
like
character
shards are not that tough to get. Like, sure, they're time consuming, but they're not that hard to farm. I feel like gear is a way more in-depth, annoying, constantly changing, unless you're one of those freaks who actually do homework and know exactly what they need, like the schnapps. I'm not one of those people. I'm just like, where am I at now? I'm on gear 11. Okay, now I need this bullshit. I gotta farm this bullshit. Oh, I'm at gear 12. Okay, now I need to farm this bullshit, this other bullshit. I'm out of the frying pan. Now I'm in the other frying pan.
You don't keep spreadsheets?
I don't, and I should, because inevitably, if I do have the required characters to unlock gas in the next Clash of Camino event, I'm going to probably get, a low star gas and probably have them at like gear 10 for a long time. And my clones suck. So I'm just going to have this useless piece of shit that
put it on defense.
Wasn't prepared for at all whatsoever. Which, by the way, Clash on Camino is in reference to a Clone Wars episode.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that episode. It's in season 3.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I think all the Camino stuff is fun.
I didn't get the connection. That is one thing about the Clone Wars is I'm starting to understand the connections between and kind of the content that CG's put forth in this game. It's totally Clone Wars.
Definitely. They love
related.
Clone Wars.
They do. Big time.
Yep. Dave Filoni is the art director on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
What am I drinking? Wouldn't you guys like to know?
He comes in with his cowboy hat. Is that a Miller High Life?
Yes.
I saw the Miller logo.
Yes.
You can't see any of it but the Miller logo.
I'm just going to do the rest of the show like this.
I love how it like blanks out half your face. What the hell?
Mine doesn't
do that. Mine just
I got a fucked up camera. I got a fucked up situation over here. I think I need to actually get a green screen. I think that's what it's boiled down to.
Maybe your skin tone is green, and that's why it doesn't know what to do with yourself.
Well, the weird thing is that the walls are painted like a mint green, but on camera they look almost white. So I don't fucking know. I have a whatever. I guess that's it. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Maybe
we already talked about events, right?
Yeah, you kind of went through the events already, didn't you?
Well, they were like bonus events, right?
Yeah. Galactic Bounties 1 on the 5th. Admiral's Maneuver on the 5th. You talked about the other one. Contraband Cargo on the 6th. Grandmaster Yoda's Training Mythic the 7th. Galactic Bounties 2 on the 8th. And then
I don't know the difference.
Territory Wars on the 8th as well. Oh, Rebel Roundup on the 10th. That's fun. Love that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a fun one.
Those bounty hunters going.
You have better bounty hunters, so you probably have a better time with it.
Yeah, I can't beat the challenge tier 2. But I do pretty well in that one.
Challenge tier 2 is
it's impossible.
tough. I spent a lot of time on the Night Sister one again.
I want
challenge tier 1, no problem, but
I want an assault battle that uses Galactic Republic, and I can use my R35 Padme squad.
I know. Man, I'm thinking for you for GAC. If you scout your opponent and they hold that Darth Revan on for defense or for offense, if they're always using it on offense, I think you should put your Padme on defense.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know what that's going to prevent you from countering, because isn't Padme is the main counter that you're looking for, right? For Darth Revan.
Yeah.
What
Padme,
else do you
Padme is like a hard counter to Darth Revan.
Right. Is there anything else that like you can't defeat unless you use Padme? Like aren't there workarounds for it otherwise?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just thinking in the terms that the fuck over my opponent mindset that I have. I don't know.
What am I losing?
I don't know. You also don't want to change it too much.
Taking 6th place in 2 rounds in a row.
I think you're doing some good things though, man. I think you're.
The issue is that like that Revan squad that can beat Padme.
I got you.
The Jedi Revan squad.
See, I don't know much about it. That's my problem.
Yeah, if it's modded properly, it can definitely take out that Padme squad. So, also that GG Nuke squad can take out Padme too.
Yeah,
IG-11, IG-88 lead. So
I don't know how many people have like Imperial probe droid and IG-88 built up.
Yeah, well, the one that I faced did. So fuck it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think you need to have one strong meta team, or that's gonna make them burn. One of their best team on. Whether that's
right.
I think an R35 Padme team is going to do work on defense. It's such a great defensive team,
Yeah, it really is.
The inherent, the innate courage that gets built up, and just, like in my round, I played like they couldn't beat it, and I wish I could play it as well as the computer does, but I can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just suck at it.
Yeah, it's something I should think about. Like watch, see what they have and see how they use their Darth Revan, and if they use it for offense, then maybe I should throw it down.
It worked once for me, so obviously it's a bulletproof plan.
I like it.
But it seems RNG dependent, I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
I just feel like that's the best use. That could be the best use for an R35 Padme. It's just a wall. If you put it in front of even if you have Phoenix in the back, who gives a shit? If they can't beat your Padme, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, true.
If you put it on the bottom, your ships are strong, so you don't really care if they get to your ships.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy time if they get to your ships. I don't know. Anyway, I'm yammering on.
I'll try.
I'm drunk. I'm talking. I'm pontificating.
Well, our short episode turned into an hour and 45 minutes. So.
Not bad. That's not bad.
Woo.
Yeah. It's always a fear. It's like, are we going to have enough to talk about? And then, that's one little birdie on the shoulder. And the other one says, yeah, of course, when you guys start drinking and talking, you can fucking talk forever.
Talking about driving or, fishing or whatever we decide to talk about.
Yeah, it's not hard to pontificate.
Nope.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We love you. Happy May the 4th.
Subscribe. Follow us on the stuff. And
if you want to send us money, you can. Oh, I just talked over you. I'm sorry.
We like money. We got bills to pay.
We got bills to. Well, it's not going to go towards beer bills.
Yeah, beer bills.
Got important beer bills.
Podcast hosting ain't free either. So.
Yeah, man, hook it up.
We appreciate all you who are supporting right now. So
we sure do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Why don't you say it again? Don't drink in hyperdrive.
Don't drink and hyperdrive.
Nailed it.
Woo.
Bye.
Closing stream.
The stream has ended.